Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Droga 52. I'm Axel. This is Eli,
Hey.
and yeah, and today we'll be talking about, well, giving a review of the new movie Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Which, when you type it out, it is really, really, really freaking long, and I hate
I
that.
mean, all of them are long.
Yeah, true, but like
it's like Dawn of
Rise of
yeah.
yeah.
You get the point.
Yeah. So today, so we watched it like a week or so ago, and
Just under a week ago.
yeah, just under a week ago. And the day before, we had just finished watching that entire trilogy. So we didn't watch any of the original, like.
Oh, we started like the first.
Yeah, we started like the
1961.
Yeah.
Or something one. Yeah.
So like the night before, we just finished watching War for the Planet of the Apes, and then just so like right when we get into like this, right when we get into Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I'm trying to remember which is which. When we get into Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, yeah, it's a long name. It's just Kingdom. I'm just gonna say Kingdom. When we get into Kingdom, we're immediately brought back to like, well, it's right after Caesar's death, so it's just really cool that we're here already. And hey, what's up, Beltray? And so like we're back right where we left off, which I think is really cool.
Should we disclaim spoilers?
Oh no, we have spoilers
Okay,
review.
cool.
So
I didn't see the titles.
Yeah.
Whether to say like.
So then after that, like, we have a whole funeral for Caesar and stuff, and like just seeing all the characters except the girl, because she's probably aged up by now.
But they do make a nod to her.
Yeah, they
in
do.
The film, so it's not to say she wasn't there. It was just clearly through filming that it was just going to be too hard to show her. But it is referenced that she was still.
They call all females Nova.
No, they call them all Nova.
I thought it was just the females they call all Nova.
No, that one cat, the one orangutan. Excuse me for terrible. I forget names. But
his name was I think his name was Rocco or something.
Yeah, it was Rocco.
Rocca or something. What was his name?
I'm pretty sure it's Rocco.
All right, wait, let me look it up. Orangutan. What was his name? Oh, Rocca. Yeah, that was his name.
So there's a quote, and he says, "We call them all Nova." And then when asked why, he's like, "We don't know. It's just
their way."
It is.
Yeah.
Now, you then know if you've seen War, then they name the little girl who ends up staying with them Nova, and that's probably where it's all stemmed from. That sort of kept in line.
Yeah.
And then they just call everyone Nova.
And like the idea of like going like 300 years in the future was like, when I first heard of that, because like I hadn't watched the films like until like recently. So like when they said 300 years into like the future, I was like, okay, that's interesting. So then like I mean, we only just started watching those movies just because I saw like a lot of people I know like talk about the movies and like seeing a lot of praise on the timeline of Twitter.
Like, see, for me personally, the new ones I knew less about. The older ones I just knew through pop culture, like, and then of course when you dig into the old ones, you see the new ones. But
yeah,
it is really cool because where they've started the new one is right kind of where they started.
Talking to the mic.
I'm trying. Okay. Yeah. Don't do something. But where they started the new one, the Kingdom, it kind of starts pretty much where the 1961 starts, except, and you can tell this by like some of the shots they've used. It's like 1-to-1 shots. Like when they're being chased in the field, there is a scene in the 1961 where they're being chased in the field, and one of the characters jumps, and you see the very same like motion and like capture in the new one. It pretty much starts where the 1961 starts, except it's not quite. We're almost there because the spaceship doesn't really crash, and we don't have the
Icarus. Yeah, that was like when we saw that, and at the end, spoilers. I mean, it's in the title. When we saw that at the end, like the spaceship, well, it didn't come down yet, but like it's going to.
The communication was reached.
Yeah, communication. That it was like we were in like a Marvel movie or something. It was like, yes, oh my god, I can't believe they did that.
But it's kind of like it starts in similar to the vein of the fact that you have I would say at least 90% of humans have devolved.
Yeah.
The apes have their own civilization. They're quite thriving. And now it's not as advanced in that 1961 because that one's like 2,000, 3,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
But
300 actually. Wait,
and
is it
then
wait?
it was
Was
in the old one?
Oh,
yeah.
in the
whereas
old,
the
yeah,
new one's
right.
like that's 300 years, so it's not as advanced and as a polar opposite
Yeah.
as in the 1961. And I definitely think they're going to make another one where they are going to have the Icarus ship planned, but I don't think we will ever see that as advancement. I mean, we possibly will.
Possibly. I think it's going to be like the ship is going to be really decayed and stuff.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is on the ape side.
Oh, right.
So,
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the 1961, they were like pretty much equal to humans.
Yeah.
In this one, it's like they're still not equal, and I don't think we'll ever get one where they're going to be fully equal in terms of like
because
evolution
like
and that sort of thing. But it's in the advancement now because of the 1961, it's meant to show that polar, switching roles.
Yeah, how futuristic.
But also it switches roles. Like, what if people were treated as we treat animals? And that was big in the 70s and 60s. There were a lot of films that play off that sort of trope. Texas Chainsaw Massacre did. I know it's a very polar opposite and a weird one to say, but it did. It had a similar theme of like, okay, well, what if people are treated like animals? It was a common theme in the 60s and 70s, and it also came about a lot of the themes you also see in some of the films back then was because I think it was like Vietnam and like some of the wars going on.
Yeah,
that also was heavily, and you see that through the politics of the hierarchy and that sort of thing, and how stupid it is. But they've done a really good job, and you can clearly see the people making it are fans of the original work. They're fans of they have worked on or are very heavily fans of the
CG work,
the three films before this one as well.
Yeah. And like they still connected it to that trilogy without like shoving so many references in your face.
The best way I can describe it is, again, it's not a remake, and I don't think any of them are going to be remakes, but it's a good way to almost do a reboot but still play like homage to the original works, but not in a way where it just like
redoes everything,
or what I find where it just I'm forgetting what exploits the original works. It's just using the name.
Yeah,
to
like Jumanji and stuff.
Yeah, that one's a different topic entirely about how it plays it. Look, some people say it's good, some say it's bad. I say it's like in between. It depends on how you watch the film.
They should have called it something else, to be honest.
Well, they did have those subtitles, but it's like Jumanji is like the overarching series. But we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
so King of Planet of the Apes. Yeah, so the big thing is when it really starts to kick off is that 300 years in the future. Well, at least 300.
They say many generations later, but like we all know it was like 300 years later.
Well, yeah, you can look it up and they tell you the exact time. But it again, it's longer enough for that history from the three first films to, again, it has now become legend, forgotten, or very few remember. And that's where Rocco is really important.
And that's also where Proxima Caesar comes in. It's like it's like he doesn't necessarily take from the original Caesar. No, he doesn't. He twists his beliefs, his views.
No. So I think you may have gotten this mixed up. I picked it up. So the new Caesar, who is building this kingdom and he is focused on like what humans did.
Yeah.
And he's showing like humans. He's a reflection of what we did and what we do.
It was more similar to Koba, I'd say, of what he.
Well, look, I think what they mean, and knowing at least what I know from original stuff and other things, is I think he's showing the downfall of humans is like that we wanted to evolve in the sense that it's like not necessarily evolve in the physical sense at this point. It's more so that evolutionary evolved in terms of like the Industrial Revolution. It is the mechanical technological advancement in evolution. Whereas if you look at the main character Noah, his people aren't necessarily focused on evolving. They're focused on just living. They live off the land. Their beliefs are very much sustainable. For example, you see in a scene where they have this like ritual because they are like an eagle clan where they train eagles and stuff like that. where they have to collect eagle eggs. But when they climb, Noah and his two friends climb up to a nest and there's only 3 eggs, they're like, no, we can't take all of them. We can only take 2. And that shows that sustainability. Again, I think that also is a message undertone of how sometimes technological advancements aren't necessarily what you should be focusing on and aren't always the answer and can lead to someone's downfall. And another thing with the whole empire and building a kingdom, the new Caesar, he doesn't draw from the old Caesar. Like I actually think most of them have forgotten who he was. He is drawing it from the Roman literature.
Yeah.
Because he has this person who this human who still has the literary abilities and hasn't de-evolved, who he makes him read Roman literature, like ancient Greece, all this sort of stuff. And that's the Caesar he is naming himself after. The Roman Empire, this great civilization. And that's sort of where he gets his drive, and that's where he is. But we also see it's sort of like a tainting of the name Caesar, because in this reference, we think of Caesar the ape, not Caesar the Roman Empire. Yeah. I know I'm saying more than you.
So what did you think of like these new protagonists? So we had Noah, like, and
I think it was really good because I mean, of course you have Noah.
You had a lot to like live up to, like to have this character instead of Caesar, which I mean, you just had a lot of the way
I sit on it is it was very well done. Like, so you have Noah, his clan, his friends, all that sort of stuff. They sort of all together.
Yeah.
Then you have, is it May? It's not May. What's the girl name?
Oh, I think it is May. What's her name?
It's an M. I see it's certain bad.
Fuck, what's her name?
Just look at the
May. Yeah, it is May.
So then you have
May.
The character May, who is someone who also still hasn't de-evolved. And then you have Raka, who's the orangutan. And then, of course, you have Caesar and his Goonies and the clans he has indoctrinated.
Because like when they first like introduced that gorilla guy, I thought that was Caesar. I was like, wait, that's Caesar? No, he's just coming in? Okay. No. But then like, no, I was like, oh, that's Proximus Caesar. Okay.
Yeah, but the main ones, so Raka is really well done. And again, it's not a replacement, but it's that sort of follow on from the orangutan in the original.
Maurice.
Yeah, Maurice.
Yeah.
Again, the wise one, the one with all the knowledge, and the one that is teaching Noah lessons and about the past, history, future, and the possibilities of future. Of course, Raka doesn't know everything, and there is information Raka hasn't got because it's again been lost. Like for example, the belief, and you pick it up like the fact that it's like, oh, humans used to live like this and that, and it's like, well, yes, that's wrong, but that's because time, information gets lost and those sort of things. And you kind of like Rocker's that one that has all these pieces of the puzzle, but doesn't have all the answers to where every piece goes.
Yeah.
But a very good character to teach the lessons and to definitely keep the good side of things running. And that was really well done. And I mean, it was quite shocking when they supposedly died. But
Rocco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
look, it's
really?
still up in the air because some people say yes, some people say no.
Apparently, like at the very end of the credits, you can hear like an orangutan. Like,
yeah, so there is a possibility they have died, or there is a possibility that the creators have done that as a way to, if they want to bring Rocco back.
I think what that meant was that his beliefs will still carry on to Noah.
Possibly. Again, I think there's multiple ways to interpret that, whether they've died, haven't died, or there's other meanings there.
Yeah.
But that was really well done, Then you had Noah, who, again, it's for the most part pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
He has grown up, and his main thing is he just wants his clan back. And he will do anything to get the clan back. And he's also open to those new ideas that Rocco teaches him. And you see, because he keeps things, and his interactions with like May at the end show that he has taken on lessons and has a different point of view. and is still holding on to those. So it does show his character development through that, which was done quite well. Then May. May is
she was a bit like.
I think it's an interesting one, but I understand what it is. May is definitely one of these characters where she's not good. She's what I would say.
She's an anti-hero. No, I'm kidding.
No, she is selfish.
Yeah.
In the sense that she does use the characters to get what she needs. And there's a little bit of redemption because again, she almost kills Noah and that sort of thing. Yeah. You can, the good thing is you can see both sides. Yeah. They allow you to see both sides. Like you understand, like because she has one mission to collect this hard drive, which will allow them to reach out to the lost spaceship or just connect to space, in general. And she wants that, but she also wants to destroy the vault that contains all the, weapons or the information, that sort of thing that Proxima Caesar is trying to access. So you can see she does do good, but because of her self-driven and selfishness, this does lead her to being a little bit of an asshole and almost killing Noah and his whole clan.
Yeah.
But at the end, you see her a little bit of redemption because there is a scene where she is concealing a gun and Noah approaches her as a final, goodbye or final words. And again, she clearly sees she is either planning to shoot him or is still doesn't trust Noah and fears that after her actions that he will attack her. And so she is ready to attack back. But in the end, he just hands her a pendant that Rocket gave to him, which is the symbol of Caesar from the first film, the sort of window.
Yeah, the window. It's meant to actually, bright eye and carried over. Yeah.
And by him passing that on and her then eventually not taking it and not reacting in a violent way shows that she is possibly open to the possibility. It's almost like a symbol of hope that, because in the original ones, they do get quite close a few times of actually uniting, but it often comes down to there are...
You're talking about the trilogy? Or okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but often it is like that one or two characters where it's on the ape side or on the human side that jeopardizes it.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately that sort of thing is to show that there is hope and there is this possibility, but it will take everyone and to unite. So that was really good. And I guess that was her little bit of her redemption. But you can still see that sort of, and again, she is a reflection of the human nature, that selfishness. But it's also in this sense that self-preservation because, there's very few people left, let alone those who have. I mean,
you had that other guy, William H. Macy's
the one in the one that worked for.
Yeah,
I saw the one who read.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a bit different. He wasn't necessarily about unity. He was more so about just surviving. And he was, but again, he's also very much the human reflection of the selfishness. Right, so he's not there to unite. He is simply there because he knows he has a purpose, and while he has that purpose, while he's useful, he will remain alive,
and he will just protect himself mostly.
Yeah,
that's why he's got that big.
But again, it's the self-preservation and selfishness for him. It's just he has given up on the whole idea of uniting or anything else. And I mean, they do say, well, humans will never be back on top. And I think...
I don't know how they can go back on top, to be honest.
I think that's sort of... There is this weird thing of... Yes, I think there is this drive in some of the people that are still alive and haven't de-evolved that they want to go back to the way things were. There is that sort of thing of holding on to the past. I think that definitely is there within the human side. And it's just that's another theme of just not moving on. But the problem is the way he says moving on is not actually in a sense moving on. It's sort of more like giving up. But I don't think the humans should necessarily be back on top. That doesn't solve anything. It's sort of coming to this middle ground. I think it will be interesting to see how they handle that because they definitely will at least make one other film.
I remember they said they're gonna. Wait, let me see.
I was gonna say I don't know how many they plan to do, but I can see at least one more film coming out of this.
I see like uh.
Well, again, I'm being very lenient. When I say I can see them at least making, they've set it up for at least one other film. Whether they make more than one after this one, I can't say because I don't know if they've said anything or.
I know they said they're planning on making like.
I would probably if I were to throw it a little further, another trilogy.
I think they're gonna. Oh wait. They said they said the creator said they have. Hold on, let me get onto this. I think they said like
Oh, so
9 sequels.
Well, a 9 saga. So that would mean the original 3.
Yeah, the original.
So it means after this one, they plan to make at least 5 more.
Yeah, okay.
Look, whether I see that coming to fruition,
I think we'll eventually get 2 more. I don't know about 5.
Look, I can definitely see like 2 sets of 3, right?
I think like 2 more.
Yeah, I can see 2 more. So you have like the first 3 about Caesar, and then the next 3 about this new timeline.
Yeah.
9 films, I think, would be a bit of a push, because yes, there is a lot of source material, but I think you would have to tread if you want to do another 3 very carefully. Because
this is a franchise you got to take you got to be very careful.
Well, what I mean by that is, at least on my end, is in the original films, there are a lot of original films.
Yeah,
but they do get a bit bonkers, and that's where I mean, like, after this sort of one. To continue on, I think they would have to tread a bit more, like be smarter about it, because you don't want to go too stupid.
Yeah, don't get too
stupid. Or like end up being boring, or like just low hanging fruit, things like that.
Yeah, I don't know, you just gotta be. This is like, I don't really see any spin-offs at all happening. Like, I don't expect like a Proxima Caesar spin-off. Because he served his purpose pretty much. Because like. Do you agree?
Yeah, there's no point doing like how he got there. That's not the point of it.
Yeah,
I think keeping it this linear line, don't get me wrong, if they add some time travel in.
Do they have time travel in the original?
Yeah.
One? Okay.
Eventually they have time travel.
Okay, because when they say time travel for like this very, it's a very grounded yet very scientific world.
So the thing is, with this one. With the spaceship, there will be some sort of, I don't think necessarily time travel, but I think there will be a little bit of like time distortion.
Yeah, because they were in space.
Because they were in space for 300 years, but I bet it's still the original crew that went up the ship. So you are going to have this weird time distortion, not necessarily time travel.
You think they'll have the same characters, but like played by different actors?
They might I think they would pay homage to the original, but I don't think they would do the original.
Yeah, I think they're gonna.
I think they may add a few more characters in and like change some of the names and slight personalities, and pay homage. But I don't think they would do those straight up. These were the same ones. Because remember, the original only had 3.
4 people, because the one.
Well, the one died. I was gonna say they only had the 3 that survived the space trip.
Yeah,
but no, I think, but overall, like the pacing of the film's done quite well. Characters are done really well. They don't have too many unnecessary
I don't really like. There wasn't really anything in the movie that like made me like ask why is that there.
Like, I'm trying to think of like some of the criticisms. I
can't really think of any. Not to say that it's a perfect movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not like perfect. I mean, it's great, but like it's not perfect or anything.
It is good.
Yeah, it's good.
It is a very good film, and one of the best films I've seen in a long while in cinemas. But I'm trying to think, because I want to give at least one criticism.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the sound mixing that I picked up on. Visuals were really well done. There wasn't anything that was too poorly done where you're like, oh, that looks off.
Yeah. To be honest.
I mean, the way they handled all the deaths, they weren't too bad. I mean, you can make criticism that it was a little cliche that Proxima Caesar fell to his death, but there was a good leading up to that point,
Yeah,
which made
yeah.
it made it less cliche. But yeah, I'm sure if I watch it a few more
Yeah.
times, I will definitely be like, okay, now I
Let's
see
book
that.
tickets. No, I'm kidding.
No,
Yeah, no.
it's- But I think watching it the first time, again, you're also in the cinemas, is a bit more.
It was a
of
pretty empty cinema. Not that. Not
Oh,
that.
I would
not that it was
say-
a bad movie. Or
I
anything,
think
but,
there
like,
were at max 4 other people
Yeah,
with
yeah,
us.
there were.
In that cinema. So I don't know why.
Yeah,
So
fill this up.
lately in the while I fill that up, I'll tell a story. Lately, when I've gone to the cinemas, I've only been like 2 films recently, and that was Poor Things. I went by myself, and then it was The Kingdom of the Apes, of the Planet of the Apes, which is recently. Both times, I have been on the furthest cinema. I've been like barely anyone in the cinemas, and it's just been a coincidence that's been like clearly the film I'm going to see. Not many people have seen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Poor Things is pretty scary. I thought for a second I was the only one watching that film in this like the furthest cinema possible, and it's like a I don't know, it's dark fantasy, slight horror comedy kind of film.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of stuff going on in that one.
Yeah.
But I was like, am I gonna have to sit through this film with no one else
Yeah,
in the cinema?
that's a really long movie, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 3 hours, I think. But eventually someone else came in, and I think max for me there was like 3 other people.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't as bad. But for a while there, I'm like, this would be the first time watching a movie in the movie theaters by myself.
Like, okay, last movie I saw in theaters.
Completely by myself.
Last movie I saw in theaters before Kingdom was Godzilla X Kong, and like I don't know what really pissed me off about that one was that just there was a goddamn annoying ass big stain on my screen, and so I was like, oh my god! So that just really distracted me a lot, and also that it was a really, I mean, it's an enjoyable movie, but it's like it got a bit too stupid, like with like the Hollow Earth stuff and like the tribe like down under not Australia, but like a Hollow Earth. So, what's a Hollow Earth? Yeah, look,
It was
yeah. Have you seen it?
No, but I know they're going off that sort of like what's it called? Oh, what are they called?
What is what called?
Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy
Yeah,
theories.
they played off the conspiracy theory that
Yeah.
the Earth is hollow and there's a civilization.
Is that an actual?
Yeah, hollow
theory?
Earth is an actual
Oh god.
I forgot again. Theory, conspiracy theory, yeah. And it then you can develop into like giants and all this sort of stuff. It's complete bullshit.
You must be from Reddit. Ugh.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so-
no. Hollow Earth is one of those conspiracy theories, and it also links into like giants and all this sort of stuff. It goes bonkers, like most
It does
conspiracy
go
theories
pretty
do.
bonkers.
But yeah, it's
So like out of I know we discussed this before, but we're doing it on stream.
order of films I like.
No. Like,
Like-
the entire trilogy,
Yeah.
plus this movie. Which, well, let's just say like this the Apes trilogy from Rise to
Yeah.
War. Like, which would you say is like, I don't know, your favorite?
Okay, here's my order and here's my reasoning. So I would probably put 1.
So Rise.
Yeah, Rise first. It was really done well.
Yeah, it was done.
Great setup, good
Great
characters.
writing. I think that's like probably James Franco's like best role.
when I was first watching it, there were a few things that annoyed me because there was a lot of setup, but they then at the beginning
Yeah.
of the next film worked off that up, so it made sense.
And
and
apparently, and like when I watched it again with my dad, like we watched like the mid-credit scene, like where
Mhm.
that
yeah, no.
Navy
So,
goes to the
so those
airport.
criticisms we're throwing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was maybe like 1 or 2 small things, but for the most part, really well done, especially for a first film to set up a trilogy.
Yeah,
Now with the 4 films.
technically it is a prequel trilogy, but like,
Well,
sort of-
yeah, it is. Well, it's almost, we're still not necessarily at that very point of the
Yeah.
original, but
I mean,
um,
like before we watched it, you were like, when are they gonna take over the?
yeah, because again, I only know the Planet of the Apes as in like there was already the civilization that had set up. The
Yeah.
apes had already taken over, everything like that. Anyway, but definitely number one. If we're including the fourth one, it would probably go under number one.
Okay.
Now, the reason for this is it's really good, but number one does better because of how well it sets things up. Then I think it would be the third one, War.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's good. It could possibly be on the same level as 4. But I think if I could watch it again, I might have a little more
Yeah, because like with
on
the
it.
Dawn, like the second
But-
one, I just like I don't know.
I'm getting there. I'm getting
Yeah, I know. It's just like I don't know. I don't really remember too much stuff in it. I think it was because like I don't know, just early in the morning, or late at night, like, when we watched it, and just I don't know, like the fight scene with Caesar and Cobra. Like, I thought that was like really great. Like I don't know, like and and that proved to me that hey, Matt Reeves can make a good movie. It's just
not the Batman.
yeah, not the Batman.
Not with Twilight.
Yeah.
we watched Batman.
Yeah, we did
I
watch
forced
Twilight.
it.
He didn't. Well, he didn't make. Oh, you're talking about Robert Pattinson. Yeah. But
No, so
yeah, Twilight. We don't.
Why did you say that name?
we should stream about that. Okay, I'll let. And then the last one would be Dawn. Now, the reason for this is all the other films I could sit through. Dawn, I found I got quite bored at times. I ended up becoming disinterested in a lot of things that were going on. And look, I think a lot of trilogies and series do suffer from this, but the second one is not as
Usually,
great.
the third one is usually considered the least favorite. Like you have the Dark Knight trilogy.
Look, there are two patterns, trilogies. Again, we're saying trilogy because even though there's 4, it definitely follows a trilogy formula.
Yeah.
Trilogies either have 2 ways they play it, or 3 ways. 1, they're all good, which is very uncommon. 2, it goes like 1 is good, 2 is a bit of a downer, 3 is good.
Yeah.
Then
Usually, and also like usually you have like 1 is great, 2 is the best one, and then you have 3, which is like the least favorite.
But then you have ones where it's like 1 good, 2 pretty good, and then 3 was a bad one.
Yeah.
One I can say for that was like the Narnia trilogy. First one, really good. Second one, still pretty good. Third was a bit
Yeah.
but that also suffered from Fox Disney.
Yeah.
That was weird. But yeah, so Dawn, I found I was just becoming disinterested all the time. Some of the characters I wasn't really interested
My
in.
favorite scene, well, like I won't say it's my favorite, but a scene I really liked was when like Caesar's like looking back through like that camera he had in his old home, and
it's
like,
it's not a bad film.
Yeah,
it has got its good things, but compared to all the other films, it probably is the one that lacks the most. And as I said, that fact that I was getting disinterested. Look, it has some good stuff. It has good scenes. It has good character moments.
Gary Oldman's character just felt like he was just there. I mean, there was that one scene where he was on that dirty ass iPad and looking through his family photo of his, and like I was like, okay. And then when he I don't know, he didn't really do much in the movie. He just felt like he was just there.
This is my thing. The villain on the ape side, because you kind of have 2 villains in that. The villain on the ape side, Cobra, really well done, right? He's got revenge. He's out for revenge. He cannot look past his past and how he was treated, and he wants to
You know what
act
I
on
found
that.
out recently? I think he's played by Toby Kebbell.
Okay,
Like,
I'm not too sure. Was he?
He was Dr. Doom in the Fantastic.
Oh, that. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
right. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that people are now like remembering him for Cobra,
For the
and
good
not
things, not the bad.
and not for Monster Energy guy, because that's what he from.
So yeah, look, Cobra, really well done.
Yeah.
But the guy on the human side, this like general like ex-military guy,
You're talking about Gary Oldman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
wasn't really into that much. Like I mean, he was.
he was present enough to know, okay, he's the one who's gonna cause issues on the human side. But the fact he's there, he doesn't do much. There's a few scenes, and then he blows himself up.
Yeah, I was like,
It's kind of like he's more of a nuisance, and I think that's what makes some of the scenes quite frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you get so close to uniting, but then it was his just outright ignorance, stupidity, whatever you want to call it. Just, I don't know,
Yeah.
desperation. And don't get me wrong, a war had kind of started. This is the beginning of
Yeah.
the end.
I mean,
if you
because it
will.
had been like 10 years, which when we first watched it, I was like, okay, so like 5 years have probably passed. No, 10 years.
Yeah, so it goes 10 years and 5 years.
Yeah, no, 10 years and then 2 years.
No, it was 5.
But no, it's 2 years.
Check it out. I swear it was 5.
Okay, we'll see who's right.
2 years sounds too short.
Yeah, I know. War for the Planet of the Apes. Okay, so here's the third. Oh, 2 years. Yeah, it says
Oh.
2 years.
It felt longer than that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Directed by Matt Reeves.
Anyway, but yeah, Dawn, I don't know. Dawn just has a few things that you can see more to criticize and disengagement. So just means it's put on the bottom.
Yeah.
Again, not saying it's a terrible film.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It has its purpose in the series, but I would
serve their purpose.
Yeah, I would say I have a bit more of
I'd say
that top it. Yeah.
But like with war, I found myself to like really enjoy that one because you had a good villain, like Woody Harrelson, Carnage,
Yeah, I mean, there's also a lot more going on.
Yeah, there is. Like you actually find out what is actually happening. Well, there's more side effects happening to like the humans, like they're losing their voices.
Which again, it also by the step of a virus makes adapt and evolve to survive. You try to kill them off, and that's why, for example, with antibiotics, we're experiencing a lot of issues with immunity to it for certain diseases because we've used it so often that many diseases now are becoming more immune or less. Antibiotics is becoming less effective on them. And again, it's with a lot of other diseases and things. You use something against it, it's going to keep adapting and adapting and adapting. And so you have to also adapt to the medication and things you're using. So it does play on that the virus has evolved. And they did a good job at that. But because it's, at least with war, there are so many things and the plot develops over time. Like it starts off with a sort of like just establishing there's still conflict between humans and apes. Then it's a revenge story. But then it becomes more of a rescue mission. But then you also see it's also like a survival thing because you have the conflict of two humans coming to war pretty much with each other.
Two humans,
like two armies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and things like that. So it has stuff going on that keeps you interested, and it's the pacing is done well and the story is done well.
Like when Woody Harrelson kills like Caesar's like oldest son and wife, like I was like, oh man, you should not have freaking done that. Holy shit.
I mean, they did really well. Like, I'll give props. Like, look, Blue Eyes was really, at least in the second one, a very important character. Yeah. And the fact they went there to be like, they really gave Caesar a proper purpose, and you even gave the audience a reason to feel for that purpose.
I mean, like, I don't know, like with like his wife, Cornelia, I think her name was.
Yeah,
like
Cornelius and
Cornelia, and yeah, like I don't know, like she was only in like the first one, like you only saw like glimpses of her, and then like you saw, I don't know, there was like this nice like detail I noticed that like he like Caesar notices that she's gone, like to Genesis, and like he's pissed. So and so I just saw that as well, like looking back, I saw that as
yeah. So they had the setup, and then
I just wish there was like more scenes. I mean, there probably are, because like I think we were gonna have to watch Dawn again, because
I think we missed a lot of the scenes, because again,
now.
She's a bit more prominent in the, she's not got a major role, but her roles are just designed to show that Caesar cares for her and she's someone very important, is what he considers family.
Yeah.
And it is established that well enough to play that role that when she dies, along with Blue Eyes, it really hits home.
Oh my god, I didn't know she's played by same person who plays Ant-Man's wife in the Ant-Man movies.
Okay.
I was like, oh damn.
But no, look, overall, I think if you like movies, again, if you're not necessarily an action fan or there's like certain like themes you're not a fan of, like for example me, I'm not necessarily a big zombie movie fan. So even if someone says, "Oh my goodness, it's such a great film," as soon as I hear zombies,
But we are gonna have to watch Army of the Dead. Come on, we have to.
Look, there's one zombie film I want to watch, and it's Return of I think the Living Dead. It's not a great film, but it looks fun to watch, so I really want to watch
Like,
it.
I'm not really necessarily into like. Yeah, black and white.
Like,
Well, I mean, like,
I've watched all pretty much the Universal
And, like,
monsters films.
I just want to say
The
this.
old ones.
I
Not
think,
the new ones, the old ones.
yeah,
the
I
black
just want
and
to say
white.
like the way they did like Godzilla -1, which I don't know if is that streaming anywhere. Chat. We got 20 people watching. Chat. Chat. Where can we stream? Where can we not stream? Where can we watch Godzilla -1? Because I've been trying to find that. And like,
Which one is that?
that's the. It was
Because I know there was one.
it was
with
one that's
Droga
like
was-
it's sort of like a remake of like the very original one. So like this came out like November last year, and it's like entirely set in Japan, like with subtitles, and it's like a
cool. Yeah,
completely separate from
No,
the
that's good.
MonsterVerse.
Because I'm thinking of one that's a bit different.
You're not thinking of the fucking
No,
Roland-
not the one with the
Roland-
T-Rex.
The Roland Emmerich, yeah, that
Not
one.
the T-Rex one.
He did 2012,
Oh yeah.
and
No, I've told you a story where there was the Japanese
where he walked out.
well, no, it was the I don't know what you call it. A group they clearly own the rights and that sort of stuff because the Japanese are
Toho.
very strong on their holding their copyrights and everything like that. In some cases, notorious like Nintendo and stuff like that. But they showed this big model of what they wanted Godzilla to look like, and their thing was like, we want it to look realistic. The directors, the CEOs, and that sort of stuff, from the Japanese company and stuff like that, they just walked out.
Yeah,
They didn't say anything. They looked at it and left.
Sort of fucking dinosaur and shit.
In other words, they said that's not Godzilla in the most like blatant way without saying a thing.
Yeah, it's just I really do want to watch Spider.
It's kind of like the case that kind of reminds me of like the terrible Death Note live action, but not the one which is meant to be like of the anime. It's that a terrible American Death Note.
All right,
it's so bad. Like Ryuk doesn't even get shown. He's like a constant
isn't he
shadow.
voiced by Willem Dafoe? Isn't he?
What do you mean in terms of like the actual anime?
No, like the live action movie.
The American one.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
Okay, well we're gonna look it up. We're gonna watch it. No,
So you're gonna look at Death Note. It's
Movie.
the American one.
Uh,
No, that's the Netflix one.
Netflix.
No, not the Netflix.
Yeah,
Is that?
Yeah, it is the Netflix one.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. Willem
Oh
Dafoe.
wow. That's a shame.
No.
No, but yeah, no, it's
Yeah. Oh yeah. What I was trying to say before was like they should try and remake those like monster movies in the same vein of
we mean the black and white ones.
yeah.
Okay,
those
so-
ones. in the same vein as Godzilla -1.
Story time. I mean, they did a good job at with referencing in Renfield. They did a really good job of that.
In Renfield.
Yeah, with Renfield,
Yeah.
they took actual scenes and replaced the actors and that sort of stuff from the original films. That was done.
Yeah,
really
but that
nice.
was like more of a comedy and
but
stuff.
but it was an homage.
Yeah.
Again. But look, they did try to do something. And
like when they tried it with the mummy.
okay, so it actually starts back. Most people who know the story, it started back roughly with like Dracula Untold. Also the 2010 Wolfman. They kind of started to try and do that there, but those ended up more being remakes. The big notorious one
Was the mummy.
was the Mummy with like Tom
Cruise. and,
yeah.
like, yeah, they were like
that one.
They were like so ready for that universe. It's like let's go.
Yeah, again, they had set it up. They introduced Dr. Jekyll and that sort of thing. They were wanting to do their big
the
MCU,
dark universe.
but because they did so terrible,
yeah,
and many people have broken it down. So in the original monster movies, because there are crossovers where like Dracula, the Wolfman, and
Yeah.
Frankenstein are all in the same film. There are many ones like that. There is actually a timeline where they all link in. They should have started with the Wolfman because the Wolfman is the only really consistent character throughout those ones, and they could have actually really worked with that to build a storyline and a good universe. But they started with the Mummy, which is one of the most disconnected to them all and that sort of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, they did try to do a remake back in 2010, but at that point, I don't think they had a huge plan to do the whole universe. It was only really the Mummy where they started to actually implement that. Don't get me wrong, they also had Dracula Untold and a few things like that, where again they were doing remakes.
What about
and
Van
things.
Helsing?
That doesn't really count.
Yeah.
That's not really in the vein of when they had plans to do this big movie universe. But they started with the wrong film. They also started with a terribly done film. So that didn't help. And in the end, all that sort of plans got tossed out the window.
Yeah.
And I don't think really they're going to touch it anytime soon.
But I feel like I mean, wasn't there like the Invisible Man movie they made? And stuff?
That was different. So
Yeah.
that wasn't connected at all to the original Invisible Man. There are many Invisible
Didn't
Man.
he have like technology or something in that?
No, so there are many Invisible Man films, none of which actually come under the umbrella of what the original necessarily was. They're more so like using the idea of the Invisible Man to convey a message or tell a different story. Look, I think there is potential in the old monster movies. I really do. But it would take someone who actually is passionate about the
you'd
old.
have to like, and also like I'd have them be set in the time they were made.
Yeah, look, you would have to have someone who's passionate about the old films, 2, who has a vision, but 3 isn't necessarily going to like toss everything out the window, just make it modern and do all this and that, and end up just completely
have
losing.
Like fucking stupid ass like. Shit, what was I gonna say? I don't know, like oh my god, let's go on TikTok or something like that.
Yeah, no, I think look, as far as like media that is old but can be given a new life and a new fan, and also bring fans back to the old films, like get people to watch those old movies. There is potential there, but again, I think it would take a very certain person and director.
So you think they should do the Wolfman first?
Yeah,
that's their phase 1.
Well, you would start with the Wolfman, and you would have to watch all the little ones around it.
Post credits.
Well, all the films. So you have to watch The Mummy, The Creature of the Black Lagoon, all those ones, and see which ones actually interconnect throughout the old films and which ones don't. But the Wolfman is the best starting grounds, and then you would work your way around those, and through good writing, knowing direction, you can bring those other characters in. Again, Dracula, Frankenstein are probably the easiest ones because there already are films that exist where those characters were brought in and were together in movies. And then bringing the other ones like The Creature of the Black Lagoon, The Invisible Man, and The Mummy in would take a bit more work because they don't actually twine in any of the other ones. So yeah.
Yes.
But completely off topic.
Yeah,
we're just talking about movies.
We're just talking about good movies, ones I haven't seen.
Yeah, getting you to watch them.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, God. Shit. So like, if they do, so like, yeah, that's right. We'll talk about Apes. Apes. So overall, what would you give this? Well, I didn't say my ranking. It doesn't matter. I mean,
it's relatively the same.
Yeah, it's the same, pretty much. Okay, so like, what would you rank this movie out of 10?
Out of 10, I am known for being a harsh critic.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah.
Like, what is my 5 equal to your 5? What is my 3 equal to your 3? Well, how many films have you watched compared to how many films? For crying out loud, I've watched Twilight. I've watched The Performance.
Twilight.
I have watched so many terrible films. I've watched The Room, so I have a lot of terrible films under my belt. I know what, yeah. But
this is me after watching.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
That is literally me.
only the first one, by the way. He hadn't seen the terrible pregnancy scene.
Oh god.
If you know it, you know it.
Oh my god! How the fuck did they make? Why did they get 4 fucking sequels out of this shit? It's like
5 movies.
Yeah, 5 movies. This is
Part
what
one and
Twilight fans after watching all 5 movies.
I tell you what, though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is really.
Well, that's what. Who made the
Maybe at the
movies?
time they were a little bit, but no. So okay, while you wanted to look that up, but I personally out of 10 would definitely give it a 7.5. Now that for me that's high. Very rarely have I ever exceeded an 8 for a lot of the films I have watched, but a 7.5.
Oh, it was just distributed by Summit.
Yeah, the Summit Entertainment.
Who are they? What have they done? It's all Twilight.
Did they do?
It's all the movies at Twilight.
No, they've done more. Wait.
Endgame. Oh wait, no, it's Ender's Game. Whoops.
Is there a list? Oh, if you go on the Wikipedia,
Yeah,
you see a list of all the ones they've done.
I mean, Wikipedia. I mean, don't tell the school teachers that they hate Wikipedia. List of
Emmett Smith films.
Bound. What is that? Oh wait, 2000s. Memento. Is that Christopher Nolan? Yeah, it is Christopher Nolan. He did. I think that was one of his first movies.
Sorry, man. It's
Insomnia.
Insomnia Holes. I swear I know Holes. Oh wow. Around the World in 80 Days. That was the remake one. Oliver Twist.
What else?
Wait, did they do Me Back Down? Happy Go Lucky 6 Twilight Push Knowing Next Day and
oh wow! Oh wait, no,
wait. Did
they did a Book of You?
Haha, very funny.
Yeah.
I've been recommended that movie, but I'm not. Wait, I'm looking to see. I think they may have done. Scroll down. I don't know what year. It was a bit later. Keep going.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, I've seen that one. It's okay.
Ezra Miller's in that one.
Yeah, and Emma Watson's terrible American accent.
Emma what? Oh, they did The Impossible, like the one with Ewan McGregor.
Keep going. Where to?
Endgame. No, Ender's Game. Pompeii. Tarzan. Wait. No.
Oh, they John Wick.
They did John Wick. Oh, interesting. Wait, what's this one? Tarzan. That's not the one with them.
No, there are many Tarzans. Yeah, The Last Witch Hunter. Oh my goodness, that's such a bad film.
Well, what's that one about? Oh, they did Gods of Egypt. Oh, that's such a stinker.
Genius.
No, they did Now You See Me Too.
Okay, so I mean, they have some hits, and they seem to have some.
La La Land. That's
so they clearly have some hits, and then they have some really bad ones. Hellboy.
Oh, that one. Yeah, no, that was a bad one. That was a bad movie. Bad.
John Wick.
No, they did Moonfall.
Oh yeah. So I mean, upcoming.
Oh, Highlander.
Wait, are they? Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Oh, they're doing it Now You See Me 3.
Hey, look, I think Highlander, at least the first one, don't ask about the second, but I think the first one definitely is one of those films which a remake, if done well, would be really cool to see. Because in the original Highlander, the thing that I found really took me out of it was just the problem of the technology at the time. They didn't have enough for their special effects and things. It just that was the biggest thing that was just like lacking. The story is pretty good. It has such good potential, but because of the time, it sort of like was lacking. Plus, why cast a Scotsman as a Spaniard? Like,
that's weird.
Why? I forget his name. He's really an iconic actor.
The actor?
Highlander. Cast. Oh yeah.
Christopher Lambert.
No. Sean Connery.
Oh.
He's an iconic Scottish comedian / actor, and they casted him as a Spaniard.
Well, he was James Bond. So.
Spanish.
Yikes.
And he's Scottish, and it's set in Scotland. Anyway, more film work. What about you? How would you rate it out of 10? I said 7.5.
Okay. I'd say about 6. I mean, there is some stuff like I mean, yeah, it's a long movie. Like, there's some slow scenes which isn't bad at all, but it's just I don't know. I guess I'd have to watch it again. Not anytime soon, but like, I guess I'd just have to watch it again and stuff.
Okay.
So,
Well, again, I can say mine is probably pushed up higher because it's been a while since I've actually seen an enjoyable film in cinemas that I've actually been wanting to talk about.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a little while. Apart from Poor Things, but that's a bit different. I would not recommend that to everyone. It's a very it's a good film.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of sex.
I mean, okay. Anyway, before we get taken off, thanks everyone for watching. That's our review of Kingdom. I'm just gonna say Kingdom of Apes or something, and us ranting about other stuff. So, yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and do all that stuff. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, yes. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all later.
Bye.
See ya.